looking cute, looking clean, looking sexy, and of course I'm joined with the one, the only best in the Midwest, the one, the only Uniqo Williams. How you doing today, Uniqo?
I'm feeling like somebody that like their fast speed in real time is hilarious, and I'm glad that I got to see somebody actually try and run like that in actual regular time and how goofy they look. What's up with you, Zelmay?
I'm blessed, highly favored. As I said, looking cute, looking clean, looking sexy. Happy to see the Flash. I had a bunch of drama today, a lot of trees in the road, whole bridges gone, and it's not gonna be back to December. So now you got to go 5 miles out the way, but then the trees in that road, so now you got to go 30 miles around.
And if you were Wally West or Barry, if you was Barry, you wouldn't have those problems. That wouldn't matter. But instead, the Mississippi roads can be like that.
Yeah, we're gonna start the show off with non-spoilers. We will of course change it to spoilers when it's time. Before the show, we won't have a sign up during that period, but when we say spoilers, that means it's spoilers. We'll have a little sign right there, so be ready for that. Let's get this show started. Yes. The Flash 2023, the film created by Warner Brothers. The basically the movie that starts to, according to everybody, reset it all. Gets our favorite James Gunn, who still to this day still put up my second favorite superhero movie of the last few weeks, which we've been on a hot streak, and that's going to include this movie. It has been a hot streak because for a long time it was like mid, it was okay, it was okay. Then you got hit with Guardians of the Galaxy. Then you got hit with Spider Verse. Then now you got hit with the Flash, and I'm like, okay, we on a good streak now. We feel like we back. And from what I'm hearing, the Marvels is amazing according to test screenings, and a lot of people that saw the show we would do next week, Secret Invasion. Most people said it feels like early Infinity War saga movies. I mean, the TV show. Outside the Looper said it wasn't good, but when the Looper says it's not good,
you second guess?
No. When the Looper says it's not good, it's usually good because them people are psychopaths.
Okay, that's fair.
They just go into like a strange explanation. But let's get into the Flash. Uniqo, how did you feel about the movie? Things you liked without spoiling, things you didn't like, etc.
Man, I came into the movie and maybe demeanor because I don't. When I came in the group chat and I said you just got to be a hater if you do not like this movie, like that's just got to be. Man, I was walking around Walmart today and I was thinking about Monte and I was like, or Monray, as y'all know him, and I was like, does he just not like anything? Like at this point, like that's like I was really walking around like I was like, do we need to have like a sit down talk with him and ask, is there anything that he respects at all? That's where that's how like because I really enjoyed the movie. Like I thought that the movie, I thought it was a fantastic movie. And so in the comments, because I felt like Ezra Miller did redeem himself if I didn't know the information that, oh yeah, he filmed this before he went crazy. And I was like, oh, because the way the movie came off was it felt like older Flash was giving advice to younger Flash. And that's the feeling I was getting. So I was like, Ezra Miller did a great job playing, being immature and also being a mature person.
Finally, a good Ezra Miller performance because he is sucked in every other movie he's been in. I'm just being honest. Every other movie.
Only known to be the Flash.
Fantastic Beast, he was absolutely terrible in Fantastic Beast.
Okay, you got to drag me to the Harry Potter thing. Like you have to drag me. Like you have to drag me to my PlayStation 5 to start playing Hogwarts Legacy. Honestly,
I forgot his character was even in the movie. He was like the main villain. I'm like, I forgot you was here. Good for you.
Yeah, I mean, but if I live in the multiverse where he did this after he did all that crazy shit in Hawaii and all these other places, 100%, I'm like, this was a wonderful performance. You redeemed yourself.
Acting wise to me.
Acting. I guess I could say that, but I just felt like just
in general you did kidnap kid with shotgun.
there, but it wasn't giving that. But also, I also want to blame DC for making him do those things, because the way he was being so fast and erratic and all that stuff in the movie, I was like, he got to be on something, because there's no way you act like you just, because when he was young, he was super hyperactive, and even older him was still being annoying and stuff too. And I was like, yo, he had to be on something. But anyway, movie overall, like explaining what's going on, how they got there and how they made it to the end, all of it made sense. And they also hit you with some heavy stuff about, nexus points. You can't change that no matter what, all these things that this just thing has to happen. And that was a spin on the multiverse too. So I like that. I like how DC and Marvel are both playing on that multiverse game, but I liked how they did this one, and I did like some of the special appearances. So overall, I enjoyed the movie a lot. I liked it. I could give it an 8.5 or a 9. It lives there to me. Tell me you.
Let me get the part out that I don't like, because like I said, this was a fantastic movie. But the part I hated, some of the special effects in this movie, compared to even in this same movie, you was like, what the
like?
For instance, one of the Speed Force ones compared to the early one looked like the Flash the TV show, and then the early one when the babies and stuff looked decent. And I'm like, how do you do that and that in the same movie? I read up on artistic. They say it was artistic in artistic expression from the thing, but everybody hated it online. Almost all the reviewers, everybody I saw after I watched the movie said they loved the movie. That was the only thing that distracted them throughout the movie. Everything else, the story was amazing. The acting was really good, but then sometimes VFX be like, oh yeah, this is something. So this look cartoonish a little bit. So specifically to one part toward the end, but I'm not gonna really like this spoilers territory. So I'll get into that in spoilers. So this is not the spoiler song. I will tell y'all when we get to that point. But other than that, like I said, acting on point, everything else on point. I did like Guardians of the Galaxy better, and I like Spider-Verse better, but that does not take away from this movie being 8.5, 9, 8.5. So that's for me.
They still got Guardian of the Galaxy posters still up at the movie theater. Y'all know I go to the movies. Like now I'm a A-lister now at AMC, just to let y'all know. And hello, Mr. Jones. How would you like your popcorn today? I don't want none. But yeah, I was about to say we was missing out on that. I forgot about letting y'all know there. This is the non-spoiler part as well. Zelmay said it, but now y'all see it too. But yeah, man, like they still got the poster up for Guardians of the Galaxy. And I think that's pretty cool that like that movie was a really, I mean, man, bro, we've been having a good year of movies. I gotta say, like there was a lot to complain about in the last couple of years. I think it all started with when I think the whole branching off into really good movies, it started branching off when we got to the Snyderverse cut came to HBO Max. And I think that's when people were like, hey man, I think this series really got a chance.
We still got the She-Hulk. That was absolutely horrible.
30-minute shows don't work, okay? 21-minute, 30-minute shows are not working, and we'll talk about that. And we'll talk about that when we get to Run the World, and we'll tell you why there's only 3 girls in it now instead of 4.
By the way, next Wednesday we will be back for Secret Invasion. So be
Secret Invasion, we got that. So make sure y'all like and subscribe so y'all can keep up on all this, because as you can tell, we are big fans of all of these things. We are huge nerds, period. But we just so happen to be cute, handsome, and sexy. How did you say it? I forgot. You said it for years.
You're looking cute, looking clean,
looking clean. We're still cute, clean, and sexy. So, but we still like all of these things. So make sure that y'all like and subscribe and do all that cool stuff. So, yeah, where do we go from here? We rated it. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, so we'll give you 5 seconds to get over to click off this video if you have not seen the movie.
Spoiler. Have you not seen it yet? You should definitely pay money to go see it.
3, 2, 1. Okay. The cameos.
The cameos. Okay.
We literally had Nicolas Cage as Superman, and George Clooney Batman came back, and I was not expecting George Clooney Batman. If y'all don't know, some of y'all might not be old enough. George Clooney was an interesting Batman.
Who came out at a very interesting time of America. There was a 90s, late 80s, like moving on to like, how do we get to 1999? So Batman, George Clooney came out at a weird time. Just keep that in mind, y'all. There's a weird time.
What Joe is saying is this was the time when Hollywood would do a superhero movie and they would only put all the highest paid actors in every movie.
Yeah.
His was the Joker with Jack Nicholson at the time. Like I'm like, this not the dude that should play this, but he's like the most famous person in this era, so I guess he plays it.
That was 80s.
Eartha Kitt too, and Eartha Kitt, like a famous black actress. Let's make her play the Catwoman, and just put her in it. Even though she did pretty good, but a lot of people did not work.
Let's take Jim Carrey.
Yes, make him the Riddler. He does not
somehow throw him in a video game with Mortal Kombat graphics, and just with no instruction whatsoever of how to do anything, like go up to the next level, anything. Just play the game. It was I can see Poison Ivy's Nicole Kidman. Big name.
Yeah, they just put the biggest name and it was just terrible. And the movie didn't work because they're like, listen,
O'Donnell. We don't even hear about him anymore.
Yeah, these people don't fit, but it's always cool to see George Clooney. Even though
Arnold Schwarzenegger, Mr. Freeze.
Yeah. Like now you see what I'm saying? This was the period they just put the most famous people in the movie and just hope it worked. Arnold Schwarzenegger was not a good Mr. Freeze. George Clooney might be the worst Batman of them all, but it was still cool to see in this movie.
Was he a bad Bruce Wayne too? Like it was like they tried to make Batman Beyond in 1996. You can't do that. You could not do that literally at the time. Like if y'all go back and watch Batman Forever, Batman and Robin, if y'all go back and watch those, you'll understand what we're saying.
Yeah, so they were just putting famous people, the most famous people they can in the movie, and didn't work.
And didn't write anything. They was just like, look.
That's why people, even if y'all hate Disney and Marvel, they kind of switched the whole thing around. They put Robert Downey Jr., even though he was pretty famous, but if y'all don't remember the time, he was a red flag in Hollywood because he was doing the. They were like, oh, Disney done messed up. He's not a Disney person. Then they had Terrence Howard. He had a little trouble too, even though he ended up. So they ended up.
He got recast. They don't mind recasting you at Disney, but they gonna write. They gonna write you something. Yeah.
So people, for y'all to say they saved superhero movies for the most part, because by this time Spider-Man kind of fell off after Tobey's first two, and then at the third one, which is absolutely horrible. But it had funny scene. I'll pay the rent when you fix the door.
I mean, I can say we could have stopped at Tobey's first Spider-Man. We could have.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was nostalgic.
And it wouldn't have the legacy that it has now. But like,
they did what we expect them to do. That nostalgia feeling. They didn't do it as No Way Home. No Way Home did some amazing nostalgia. Like I'm talking about Andrew Garfield saving Mary Jane and crying because we knew he didn't do it in the movie. And I'm like, I didn't even like these movies, but you were a good Spider-Man.
I think it was a skateboarding for me, but like just it was just random. Like Peter Parker wasn't even that cool. But let me throw this out here about the other Batman, Michael Keaton. So people are putting comments like, man, whatever. They brought back Michael Keaton, and he looked like he does what he does best, which is be drunk. And I was like, he didn't give me that he was. Michael Keaton didn't give me that.
If you watch, he did all the stuff he did in the old Batman films, where he just say punchlines when he was basically like he was drunk, and it just bring it back to people's mind. Yo, he was an alcoholic, just saying, Batman. What was the other line? What's the other line he used to say? He said in this movie too, when he was just sitting on the thing. He said the line. I be forgetting what line he be saying.
That was literally a one and done movie for me. All the Batmans. Like even when I was a kid, like I had
Until Dark Knight for me. Until Dark Knight was amazing. The Dark Knight
that was
trilogy.
well. I'm just saying that Batman era.
Oh yeah,
That was the last Batman for me. For that, like it was one and done. So you have Michael Keaton doing this thing, the iconic Batman toy, the Batmobile, iconic, all that stuff was great. It was just like I watched that one time, and I would make better movies playing with my action figures than what I just saw on the TV. I didn't need to watch it anymore, bro.
Oh,
Like,
I remember what it was, Joe. You want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts.
Let's get what? Bruce Wayne, no version of Batman would ever say that. George Clooney would laugh about that.
Why would you say that line?
Christian Bale would be like, "What?"
You want to
even Pattinson? I don't even think he wouldn't say that. I can't imagine him saying that. Like, let's do a callback. Say, if you want to get nuts, let's get nuts. I think Robert Pattinson would be like, "What? Why would I say that?
Why would Batman ever say you want to get nuts?"
He doesn't use slang like that. Like,
by the way, I'm making fun of it, but I did like Michael Keaton in this movie, but that was ridiculous.
I had no problem, and then he did a great job. Like, not him, but whoever his stunt double was did a great job. The action scenes with old Batman was great. This was and I'll tell you what.
I did hate Ben Affleck's look at the beginning of that movie. I don't know. It felt like he was just old Batman now, and I'm like, ain't Michael Keaton supposed to be the old Batman?
Well, I think what we got from Affleck's Batman was that, listen, y'all got me for 3 days, so whatever y'all want to do. Unless y'all can pay me more. Like, bro, after Affleck, and I'm telling you, here we go. Gal Gadot doing what she does best. Here go her music. And she doing something, and
she's in every movie, by the way, just doing the same.
That's all she does is pull up.
She was on Shazam, and then she just walks away. And then the hero flirts with her, and she walks off like, "You're too young." Like, everybody's too young. You're old as shit. You're a god.
Literally were raised like for 200 years before you went to the outside world. But like, that's her. Gal Gadot is getting bags off of this. What if they bring her into this new DC? I'm gonna be pissed, because I'm like, is that why you just popped up for a hot second? And what was it?
Isn't her and Aquaman gonna be back? Because they basically erased Superman and Michael Keaton, right? I mean, and Ben Affleck put George Clooney there, and they're like, "Hey, we're not doing this no more."
Yeah. So it's confirmed at this point. Whatever this, if we're taking the Flash,
Aquaman is staying. Roman Reigns is staying. Roman Reigns is staying. James is not attacking him.
AKA Dante as well, because I mean they were the same exact character.
Yo, what if Roman Reigns did do what's the name that night?
Another
cameo as Aquaman. That would be
hilarious. That would be great. I would love that.
Everybody say he looked like Jason Momoa. I saw a chat. I did chat GPT like who would play Roman Reigns in the movie. They literally said Jason Momoa.
Yeah,
I did. I'm like, okay.
So I'm just saying. So Gal Gadot is just making these random appearances, and she's getting paid the bag just to do it for everything that's ending the Snyderverse, if you will. But I think that this movie really showed us that the Snyderverse could have worked. Now, they did show us at the end of Snyderverse, like that alternate future where they have the Joker that's played by that one boy with all the tattoos and stuff, the crazy boy they call him. I can't even think of his name right now. But you got that universe. Man, you know what? Actually, that's what we were missing out on too. We missed out on a cameo that somehow had the Suicide Squad in there. Like maybe even y'all could have had if we're going out with a bang, let's go out with a bang. If y'all saying because I thought what they were pushing towards at the end, I thought they were pushing towards like making the new 52, if that makes sense. Like they were creating, that's what, like
Jared Leto is the one you talking about, right?
Jared Leto, that's what I was talking about. That's the Joker that I was thinking of. But I thought that's what we was gonna see. But like, no, they was like, no, this is a bad ending for one of these Flashes. And yeah, this is a bad ending. And that's what happens. The
Yeah.
spaghetti references was wild. Like, but it
I ain't gonna
made
lie, I
but it
did
helped
that.
to make sense.
That's another part I hated when the weird Flash showed up. I was thinking that was that little Speed Force demon when you mess up time was supposed to show up.
I thought that was Ultra Thawne at first. And I also thought it was a committee of demon Speed Force people coming to correct shit
Yeah,
and
when
stop
the
the shit.
when
That's what I thought.
the Speed Force demon is supposed to be there, it's not. Then he just then some reason it got weird because the Speed himself he attacked himself that was him and not the other one. And then but he saved himself, so when he attacked him, he disappeared. And I'm like, you could have just made that a Speed Force demon. He did the same thing, and it would have made more sense.
I thought it would be one of these things that was not like, nah, nigga, it's the nigga that you came back and had a conversation with in our room when I was 18 and I was actually cool. Because I had my man, bro,
What's some
like
demons called? I'm trying to
I don't
see.
know what they are. All right, but my first thought was that it was Thawne. It's like, stop trying to stop that thing from happening that I did. They gave us no inclination of who stabbed his mom that day either. They didn't even give us any evidence or clues about what happened that day.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think they wanted. They like, oh, this the end of this. We don't want to give. We just gonna do cool cameos and that's it.
You think they didn't even think about the fact yo,
Yeah, if you're gonna introduce Reverse Flash, you can't just end the whole
yeah, I mean, I'm
universe.
saying so, and that takes me to my next point. You could totally do this with Ezra Miller still doing the Flash stuff. You could totally do this. You don't have
You
to
just have
stop
to
here,
pray.
huh?
You just have to pray to God he's not around any karaoke or any families. So you just gotta pray.
I have a feeling who runs DC now? Discovery.
James Gunn runs DC. Not Discovery the whole thing. He's over DC. He's Kevin Feige of DC now. And he did Guardians of the Galaxy, his last movie with Marvel, which
I have a
we
feeling
love.
like if James Gunn really wanted Ezra to keep on going, I have a sneaky suspicion that you got to stay with me, man. Just come on set with me when I have just everything. We got to keep tabs on you. I think James Gunn he would have to do that because Chris Pratt seems like the type of dude that would go off the rails. I don't know. He just gives me he might go off the rails.
Why does people hate Chris Pratt? The man lost weight now. Everybody don't like him. No.
I'm not saying you. I mean, I'm just saying. I just kind of feel like if anybody was to go off the rails, it might be him. Like allegedly or whatever. I mean, like I'm not. He just gives that to me. You know what I'm saying? He gives me that vibe.
Yeah. So everybody else in the movie, General Zod was just there just to be there. I'll be real.
That was nice nostalgia. I mean, I'd like to see that Supergirl back. I like to see that Kara. She was cool.
She did good, but she was so short. It was kind of like, oh, I thought you was gonna be more important, but okay.
She ain't do shit.
Yeah,
she helped Future Flash get struck by lightning. I mean, she was needed for that.
Yeah, that was her role. She was a plot device. Just like I complained about old girl. Just like I complained about old girl in Transformers. That was her job, boy. And she was meant to die to Zod 100,000 times, and we just watch her get murdered over and over again, repeatedly.
She sucks. I mean, I know she. That Superwoman sucked. Like she's the worst ever.
Fighting wise, 100%, but otherwise than that, Superman got serious with Zod. He ended him the second he wanted to kill him. Like y'all remember Henry Cavill, like, okay, I'm gonna kill you now. And he said, okay, I'm done. The only reason he couldn't because he refused to kill him. That's the only problem here. This woman was like, she was trying her hard to kill him.
She actively wanted to kill Zod. And we kept forgetting there was a whole other chick with Zod powers. And even they didn't even use her because they could have jumped her if they wanted to, like they jumped Henry Cavill.
Joe, they did everything in their power to help her win with 2 flashes and she couldn't get it.
She cannot get it done, bro. She is the worst.
They even did slow motion, him trying to fight Zod, and he was like, get back. Stab.
And then, wait, where did he get concentration powers from? Wait, he running a tornado around me if I just...
By the way, that's a callback to when Superman did it to Flash in Justice League. Remember, he was hitting Superman, then all of a sudden he just said, and then caught him. So that's just it's a callback. That's how I get it.
Okay, I'll give
By
you
the way,
that.
that CGI, and when I was talking about VFX, that was one of the scenes I thought was horrible looking. If it when it
So
started looking like
which
they were clay
Tornado
people,
1 or Tornado 2?
when they start looking like clay people,
Okay.
and I'm like, why the this look like a horrible animated series?
The infant didn't make it.
I
was like,
By the way,
what?
by the way, listen to this review after I thought about it. We just making fun of stupid shit, but it was a good movie. Like, I don't think people can be like this.
No, watch the movie. I mean, no, this is a spoiler part. So if you have watched the movie, you get what we're saying. If you have not watched the movie, if you came into this territory, I want you to know it's worth watching for sure. It was a good movie. Now we got out of Monterey that it wasn't necessary, but was Toy Story necessary 2 or 3? No, but sometimes you can just make a creative work, and you can just like it. That's where I'm.
Wait, why did they even put Alfred in this movie?
At least one of them, right?
He was in it for like 3 seconds,
and then he was in it via imprint on a pen. Now, had you brought back now if you had gave me give me Fox, tell because you only got I think we actually only have a few more years with Morgan Freeman. I know time has proved us wrong, but I mean, you bringing a Fox in there at some point, that'll be dope. There's a lot of Alfreds, man, but yeah.
What's the next movie on Beetle?
Blue Beetle is the next DC. And I think, is that the one that ends Snyderverse?
I think that might be the one that started, right?
Are we doing
August 17th, Blue Beetle. So yeah, that's the next one.
I just don't know if that's Snyderverse or if that's the new, because I thought the Superman one was supposed to start it off.
It may be. I'm confused to how they gonna do this, because I'm like, the only way it makes sense to finish this is Flashpoint.
Which
I don't know.
That's a point I wanted to make too, is the fact that Flashpoint, they used a lot of elements from that movie, from that cartoon. And I was like, good job, DC. You did what you should have been doing. Look at the cartoon movies you've done, and try and do that live action. So we had a lot of elements from that. We did not get a super fight from from Aquaman and Wonder Woman. We didn't get that.
But you could, by the way, you could feel that this was the end of this thing, because they reused every character. Like, there is no new character outside of Supergirl. There is no new characters in this whole movie.
If Adam West was still alive, I feel like he would, rest in peace, I feel like he would have been in this movie.
Yeah, General Zod is the villain. Ezra Miller is the other villain to itself. Every other person is a cameo. It's not really like, they literally be like, yo, we are not using new assets in this movie at all. We just gonna reuse. Like, what was the purpose of reusing General Zod outside of that? Like, if they were, that's the reason I don't think they even committed fully. Even though Joe is 100% correct, they did take a lot from the thing, but they didn't use they could, like, in the comic book and the movie anime, cartoon, they used Thomas Wayne instead of Bruce Wayne.
Which I thought that's who Keaton was going to play when we first saw it. I thought so. That was my thoughts a couple of weeks ago, was that it was going to be Keaton was going to play. Yeah.
Then you had the Reverse Flash, and you had Reverse Flash and all them in that. This time they're like, nope, we just gonna reuse all the characters from the old movie, and we are not gonna introduce you to new characters, because this movie is a reset. But the only problem is, I don't know the effects of it yet, because we ain't really seen it. So Blue Beetle will give us information. Is this the new era, or is this something else? I mean, Superman, I think, is supposed to start it, but I don't know.
And my last point about this, I just thought it was cool that they did.
If it's not, then why do we watch it though? If Blue Beetle's introduced and it's not part of the new DC, why would we watch it?
To just because I told you've even said this. It's the train wreck that we just want to keep on watching. So, and one day we say, usually around this time, DC will go off the rails, and then we get pleasantly surprised like we just did. We're gonna always go to these because of the potential, because of all the great stories that DC has. you have so much material to draw from. You have to execute, and that's why we keep going to the movies to watch it, because it's the train wreck that we go to see every single day, and one day that train wreck may not happen, and that's DC for you at this point.
Yeah, August 18th. This is the NR spoiler review. Really good movie. We just went over some funny stuff we saw. We didn't y'all. If you watch the spoiler review, we don't have to go over the whole movie. Y'all saw it. I just want to notice if y'all noticed the little things. But Blue Beetle is next. Secret Invasion will be our next superhero thing we talk about.
Quick question: can you really imagine Nicolas Cage being Superman? I know if people don't know the story behind that, he tried out for it. He got a fitting for the suit, and then that was just it. They just were done with it. But for him to come back with this whole AI CGI like quick little thing, and he was kind of a skinnier Superman.
They brought back AI version of what's the name, which I was like, okay. If you watch, I'll
Lois
be
Clark, that one,
yeah,
or the
yeah.
Superman and
Lois
Supergirl.
Lois.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, and then they did Supergirl. What's the name too?
That was cool.
Even though it had me worried because I'm like, yo, I just saw like I'll be there, and they got like little creatures that create legs and walk on their own.
That's a big part that I was on. That was I couldn't tell if Ruby was fascinated or if she was terrified, but because she sounded like, I'm super interested in this, but that is gnarly shit. So that was a good part. Make sure y'all watch I'll Be That News. They are funny.
Yeah.
They are funny.
And be here for we got I don't know if it'll be me and Joe, depending if I can watch it. The Blackening will be on Sunday tomorrow. And Run the World will also be here. I know y'all might not be interested in it, but it's a pretty interesting show. And of course, we got Blue Beetle. We got a bunch of shows. We got some delays in Marvel, but all of a sudden we got movies that's going in between now, so it's interesting. So I think they shifting up, maybe because of two of their star villains who's coming back, possibly having crimes against them, but we don't know yet. So we don't know how they switch it up. And the Hulk, as of June 15th, is back with Disney. So maybe they'll actually put effort into his character. So remember to like and subscribe. Joe, you think they'll, before we go, let's answer one question. Y'all let us know in the chat too. Will the Hulk finally be back, and will they actually put effort into, because they actually own him now?
Multiverse is a thing, and people are getting second chances. If you can give Andrew Garfield a second chance, you can for damn sure give us a rated R the Hulk.
And by the way, from what I'm hearing, Bob, the new Bob Iger is back, and he said, "Yo, y'all can do rated R movies." So Bob Chapek was 100% getting, and y'all know if you all watch this show long enough, I do not like Bob Chapek. So Bob Iger is back to save DC. So let's see how it goes. Y'all let me know in the comments. Is the Hulk back? Do y'all trust Bob Iger over Bob Chapek? Because Bob Chapek ruined what Bob Iger made in the first first three arcs of Marvel. Joe, Uniqo, in the last word.
UniqoWilliams.com. That's where you go to find me. We're gonna try and play Diablo 4 tomorrow, or we should be. I should have played it today successfully. If you're watching it on this day, I should have played it successfully and streamed it. I'm having a good time with Street Fighter World Tour, by the way, so we're doing that. But of course, it's always, do you hear me with Uniqo Williams? Zell May, take it away, sir.
You can find me at, of course, Overall 99 Media, all the Overall 99s. We will get back to GC Mafia whenever I have time to actually organize, because my boy moved, and now the time difference is weird. He go to work at night instead of during the morning like he used to. So everything's shaking up before what we thought. So we'll get back to doing stuff like that. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. GGC Mafia, Overall 99 Media. I'll be that. Go like that. And Joe, do you think they know who we are?
I don't know, but I think they typically ask one question.
Who are these niggas?